Hello, class. I'm Staff Sergeant Aurelio Gonzalez. I'm from the 56th Logistics Readiness Squadron. I'm the NCOIC for the Preventative Maintenance Team for the Fields Management Flight, also known as 2 Foxtrot 0 X-Ray 1. Today I'm going to be going over a few things, just basically explaining to you who we are as a fields flight, what we actually do, what role I play into this flight, followed by what Fields brings to the Logistics Readiness Squadron, what the squadron provides for the 56th Fighter Wing, and what the Fighter Wing's impact is on the Air Force Corps missions. And lastly, I will go over the impacts of what would happen if I wasn't there to do my job. So, who is 2 Foxtrot 0 X-Ray 1? Again, we're the Fields Management Flight, also known as POL. We are the big green trucks out there on the flight line delivering fuel to all the aircrafts. We as a flight are charged with receiving, storing, maintaining, quality assuring, distributing fuel and cryogenic products to Luke Air Force Base. We deal with different types of fuel grade, from Jet A fuel, which is for our aircrafts, diesel and MoGas, which is for our ground products, and then we got our LOX again for our pilots, oxygen tanks, just to make sure that they got some good quality fuel. Oxygen when they're out there in the sky. So here at Luke Air Force Base, we service approximately 120 aircrafts daily that allows to about 48 million gallons annually, not including our ground products. Like I said, very, very busy. Where does this fuel come from? How and why is it that we manage it? So we are the point of contact for our third party, which is known as DLA Energy. They are the vendors, and they are responsible for giving us the fuel that we need to supply our aircrafts. They are the third party vendors and manufacturers. We are just basically the middleman that gets it from point A to point B, just as we received it from point A to point B as far as quality. That is what we as fuels do. And to do so, we have a few different sections. We got a control center that is basically the brain of our shop. They are responsible for assuring that our fuel is getting accounted for, and that our fuel is getting bought, the finances of it. We again, the fuel is not free. We don't make it ourselves. We are responsible for accounting for it and financing it, and then. Actually, they are also responsible for distributing drivers out to these aircrafts on a day-to-day basis. And then we got our lab section that is responsible for quality assurance. They are the personnel that make sure that this fuel is in the same condition as it was here, that it is over here to the aircraft. They test it before we get it, they test it while we have it, and they test it before we ship it out. That's what our lab section does. Our facility is in charge of our overall tanks. They are in charge to make sure that these tanks are in good condition and they are in good standings to hold our fuel in an efficient and safe manner. And then of course we got, like I said, our cryogenics, who are in charge of the liquid oxygen that goes into the fuel tanks for our pilots. And we here have a training and support section. Our support section just gives every single section exactly what they need to accomplish the mission. They are responsible for getting us absolutely everything we need as far as equipment. And then we got our training support. Our training section of it. They are honestly, which is I find great, dedicated to meeting the combat ready airmen. They are responsible to make sure that our airmen are combat ready to go at any moment's notice, wherever, whenever they are ready to go. And we have a section specifically for that. So me as preventative maintenance, I am in charge of making sure that these trucks are safe and efficient. I am making sure that every time a driver gets into the vehicle, they will be safe, and they have an operating vehicle, and they are able to finish the mission in an efficient manner, meaning the truck is running the way it should be. I am the identifier to make sure that everything is up to code on these trucks, and I am the last line of defense for this fuel. I'm the last person to inspect it to make sure that it's in good quality. We work hand in hand close with lab just to make sure that we are meeting our quality expectations. So what does fuels bring to the Logistics Readiness Squadron? So we as a flight are basically the bloodline of the Air Force, and we are the first-hand distributors of product, meaning for the Logistics Readiness Squadron, we bring the essential support needed to the fighter wing and to the Air Force itself. We as far as the logistics readiness squadron is concerned, their mission is to set the standard for a global logistics support, and we supply that essential support. We keep everything moving. Anytime anything needs moving, they call us for the energy. That is what we do at the Fields Management Flight, and that's what LRS has to their has on hand whenever they need to provide that logistical support. So, how does this tie into the 56 Fighter Wings mission? Their mission is to train the world's greatest fighter pilots and combat-ready airmen. As I said before, we got a whole section specific for that, for our combat-ready airmen. We got airmen ready to deploy today and ready to go at any moment's notice. We got a section specifically for that. And as far as getting our pilots out there, we bring that energy, we bring that fuel to get these pilots to meet their deadlines, to meet their times, their flying times, to get out there and get in the fight. That's what we provide as a Fields flight, which logistics the LRS has in their pocket, ready to go for the 56 Fighter Wing. Now, what does the Fighter Wing provide for the overall Air Force Corps missions? How do we tie into that? So we produce pilots on a timely manner. We get pilots out there to do the jobs, to fight in the missions that we need them to, ultimately allowing airspace superiority. We have airmen trained and ready to mobilize downrange and strike, and we enable rapid mobility ourselves. And the impact of me not being here to complete my mission, very simple. We say it all the time. Without fuels, pilots are pedestrians.